You don't have to say much. Yeah. Once again, the session on languages of Goa is starting now in Dr. Reddy's Pavilion. May I request everyone to please gather here. Thank you very much, and over to you, Giri. Thank you.
This is a session on languages of Goa, but we will begin with the most prominent of these languages. Today we are trying to speak about language, to speak about the language profile, the language of the one of the other. And then we can open it up for the language. The reason to speak about languages in Goa, is that Goa
Giridhar, you are part of the panel. You go first. Let me introduce to you Goa first in one word. Goa is multilingual in character. Well, I was born in a Konkani family. My mother tongue, I'm not talking about mother tongue because my mother was talking the language. Mother tongue is the language of the mother soil, mother land. So I talk Konkani. When I was asked what the practice during pre-Portuguese time, I was sent to primary school, which was the Portuguese. So I studied 4 years of Portuguese. And there was another practice among the Hindus, not to get lost to Indian culture. We also went to Marathi schools. Of course, Catholic children also went to Marathi school, nothing to do with religion as such. But I also simultaneously, and by studying the Portuguese language, I studied Marathi also. And then for this secondary school, I went to English. So my mother tongue is Konkani, and I went to Marathi primary school, so I read and speak Marathi also, because I went to Portuguese school, and that was the time when I could easily converse with the Portuguese priests and Portuguese friends, and I would talk to them, converse with them. Now, over the last 60 years, I lost the practice, but I am very good at Portuguese, reading of Portuguese, and also understanding everything. But I'm very happy that I knew Portuguese very well. As a result of it, today I can speak English or I can understand English much better because etymologically I find many things are common. We say administration in English, in Portuguese it will be administração. So, station in English, in Portuguese it will be estação. So, only minor differences. So, I am very happy that I also read and write in English. So, like many Goans, I am also multilingual. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. What Konkani means to me, I grew up in a extreme south of Goa, where it's Konkani, what we spoke, but it is very sing song. So it's literally like we have to learn to read and write music before learning to speak the language. So it's that sing song. Like, oh, Gara. Like it's a very language and singer-song dialect of Konkani. Yeah, so when I came to Margam, which is also part of Goa, you were made fun of because of my dialect. Yeah. And other than that, my memories of the language is during the summer holidays was spent mostly reading Konkani letters to the elderly folks who receive letters from the girls or wherever their husbands were. So that is how what it means, and I studied in English. So now my thinking language is unfortunately English. But I don't know. So, like I struggle with Konkani sometimes. So it is not very good. But for conversations I find what I try to think and put across a point, then I struggle. Yeah. And I shifted to Mumbai, so that pretty much the last 30 years, 35 years. Otherwise, yeah, that is my experience of Konkani. I come from the extreme, and it has many dialects of every, yeah. So it's changes. Yeah. So I was outside, since I studied in Margam, coming from the south.
I think it's very odd that the Hindu right-wing fundamentalists made me, converted me from monolingualism. In the sense that I remember when the Babri Masjid fell in 1992, I felt personally like I didn't know what I could do. I didn't know what I could. I felt like apologizing, or I felt like going out and saying something or doing something. But these events were in such a large scale, and the self is so small sometimes that one doesn't know how to bridge that gap. And so I was thinking, by when my father was dead, that I sort of used to have conversations with him in my head. It was a bit weird, but I thought, what would he say? What would he say? And I think it came to me that you're living an English language life, learn Urdu. So that first step was to learn Nastaliq, to learn to read and write Urdu, which I worked on and I can do fairly well now. But the vocabulary is vast and personate as well, so it often defeats me. That was my first encounter with it. And then, of course, I went to school and studied Marathi, studied Hindi. And whenever I try to speak these, people laugh. May I ask you to always treat someone who is speaking your language with respect, because they are your ghar aaye mehman. Mehman nawazi karo. You have to treat them gently and well, even if they are pronouncing badly, even if they are making mistakes. You have to treat them well because they come to your home. They come to your language home. So if you laugh at someone who makes a mistake, you're laughing at your guest.
And that's not very nice. So I think the laughter of people when I spoke Marathi, Hindi and Konkani drove those languages into a subterranean chamber of my heart. But if you're a writer, all language is precious to you. You listen to a nursery, you listen to a mando, you listen to a song, and suddenly something blooms inside you, and you reach, in a mad sort of way, you reach for language. And whatever language it is. Sometimes, you're listening to a Tamil Padam and you're thinking, oh my God, I wish I knew. Yeah? So that was always there, and eventually I thought I have allowed laughter to cut me away from the languages I have not relationship with. And so translation began to become a very, very lovely and private way of re-establishing a connection with language, which had nothing to do with people laughing at how you spoke. It was just you and words and this kind of like act. It was like wrestling in mud. Language became mud, and you were wrestling in the mud with the language. It was so personal and so intimate. And I have to thank Bhai for bringing me back to Konkani. I've had the honor to translate his next novel, and that brought me to Konkani again and everything in a very mad and wonderful way. It revives so many things inside you. It revives songs, it revives poetry, it revives the music of other languages. Today we were listening to Bengali poets. Ms. Thakur is sitting here. Hey, yeah, and that is so lovely to hear Bengali suddenly, Hindi, English, all working together. And so what Bhai said about multilingualism, you can possibly, in half an hour in Goa, you may hear Portuguese, you may hear Hindi, you may hear Marathi, you may hear Konkani, and you certainly hear some English. You hear all these languages at any one time. Not as much as everyone imagines, but yes, a fair amount of Russian. But then, when taxi drivers, they immediately pick up Russians. They have. And if you go along the beaches, some time back, now the Russians are on the decline. So you will find a busy fighting there, Ukraine war. But then on the beach, you find many shops with holdings in Russian. At the university, yes, French, Portuguese, English, and beyond that, I think it's everybody's choice. But I don't think more than French and Portuguese, besides English. Okay, the thing that I do most frequently with the books that I'm translating is I read it aloud. Okay? Now, Bhai writes in Nagari script and has always been a very passionate advocate. Because Konkani, as we know, can be written in 5 different languages or scripts. So he's a passionate advocate of Nagari, and that is fine with me because I've learned Nagari, so it's not an issue. I don't know if you know how lucky we are as a nation. You take out a 500 rupee note and look at the number of scripts on that one note. And our duty as citizens is to pay respect to all those scripts. Because those are our amanat. They have been handed to us, we have to hand it down. Anyway, so when I was reading him, I discovered very many things. One is that no language ever has a script that can replicate the rhythm of the language and the music of the language. That comes from something inside you. For instance, take even English. Pleasure. S-U-R-E. Pleasure. Here. There is no letter for here. But there is a letter for here in Urdu. In Nastaliq, we have a letter for here. Okay, it's just fascinating how these things operate. So the idea that, that you need to find a script for Konkani that replicates this music is a chimera. It's a dream. You're never going to get there. But what you will do is you will adapt to the possible. Okay, there's another little secret thing going on here. I'm a North Goan, he's a South Goan. Okay. So we are a bridge to each other now because they speak a different Konkani, we speak. Now it's not a different Konkani, but there are many things about. Bardroy beautifully talked about music. Yeah? And I think that music is really centrally to our misunderstandings of each other's language is that we need to do the pakad. In a rag you get a pakad, no? You need to get the pakad of that other language, and then its music opens out to you. And once you've got that, you actually flow with it. Bardroy, would you like to?
Yes, I forgot to mention another thing about language. Goa has yet another language, which you can say official, unofficial, is a music language. I happened to do a film on music being the central theme and hero of the film.
Nato ya Pumpasat. If you have not seen this film, you really should, but Bardroy has to let you.
It's playing tomorrow. Tomorrow.
Please check it out. Really love.
So it was my way. I mean the film. Yeah, the film was done to say, and when the story came out, there were a lot of discussion. Let's do it in Hindi. Let's do it in English. Let's do it. What I stuck to my guns, I said it has to be done in Konkani and. Yeah, so like Konkani, the comedians in any drama in Konkani are from the culture. Yeah, South. Yeah, and and the serious guys or the heroes are from the north, where Jerry comes from. So yeah, so you have to balance both the sort of dialects, north and south, and do the film. But it also has 20 songs in it. So it was also paying a tribute to the musicians from Goa who went and changed the soundscape of Bollywood, a lot of other things. Yeah, so it was done basically to sort of my way of giving back to where I come from. So after a successful career in advertising, I was selling a lot of other things. What Bardroy said is true of theatre. Theatre is a drama form performed by mainly the Catholics of Goa. So yes, in theatre, the heroes they speak their Bardroy dialect, and whereas the comedians necessarily speak the Sasti dialect.
In fact, I'm very much against this because that, shows, no, it's not only the stereotyping of dialect is different, but then make other people look down upon it. And this happens particularly when marriages happen. A girl from north goes to south or south to go north, then they face problems. You can imagine when Margaon girl or Saltik girl is married in Makkah or Bangladesh side, then she's there for her accent, for her dialect. But of late, particularly I think it's due to literature, that there is no thing like mainstream language now. So all the dialects are merged together to bring out a beautiful mainstream language. That's what I believe. Of course, on slang it may be different. Also, as you said, in Andhra Pradesh and Telangana, it happens. In Marathi also, once there was Puneri Marathi. The speakers of Marathi in Pune, they considered themselves, on the roof. Whereas people from different places in Vidarbha and Kolhapur, they spoke different tongue. This happens in English also. You go to England, you will not find the same English spoken everywhere. But when we speak of our language, we look at a dialect in a different way. This should not happen. But to come to the point, yes, I think literature is a help to merge the dialect into the mainstream language. Of course, when I write, now the book that he has translated, one character who is a Catholic will speak in his tongue, which is understood and followed by others. And the other protagonist probably speaks in another dialect. But readers will never feel that he is speaking in another dialect. He will only try to identify with the person. So you will understand that this man is a Catholic and this man is a Hindu, hailing from this, I don't like to use the word caste, but this class, and that you come from this class. See, I read the entire translation to Bhai over 5 days. Then Saila, who is his Marathi translator and wife, was also present and he approved it. I was aware of this thing. That there is also one character who comes to study with a central character, and he is from Kannada, and he speaks Konkani, but the use of Konkani is limiting his world. So he wants to learn to speak Konkani in a way that will help him move up in the world. And this, I think, is a fine, subtle nuance. So in the English that I gave him, I scraped a little skin off that English, so that it would be a little rougher and raw, but you won't actually get what Bhai can do. So, see, Bhai, this is the thing about translation, I think, that you must necessarily abandon any attempt at thinking that you will produce the perfect mirror image, right? So some loss is going to be there. So the boy does say that I want to speak a better Konkani. So I think, the one thing that, Shastri have got now is their Jnanam Pitham from Majorca. He's not from North Goa, he's from South Goa. So that's one of those ones, sort of equalizer. You can't possibly, you can do that for say I would do that for say something you're eating. But when it is the entire phrase or sentence carries the rhythm of the dialect, you are not going to do it unless you do one of those clumsy things where you try to use black English or you try to use Ebonics or another variant. I don't know, Yorkshire dialect or whatever. It doesn't work because each dialect points to a whole connotation of cultural and social, sort of issues. So it's difficult to try that. Now, I had a conversation with Santa Gokhale, who's like my translation guru, and she said, it is time now to translate, when you're translating dialect, to try and invent a dialect. And this is the big challenge, but it will take time and it will require serious work. Well, in Goa, the literature started after 1961, after liberation. Until then, everything was censored by the Portuguese. And yesterday I forgot to mention about the decree that was passed in 1684, banning the use of language, even in speech. Such was the condition 500 years back. But what was the question? Yeah, publicly, I'm coming to that. So actually, literature started happening after 1961, after the liberation of Goa. Before, whatever was published in Konkani or written in Konkani was from by staying away from Goa. Those now Edward, the Brim the Fourth is our first novelist who had to go run away to Pune or Mumbai and produce literature from there. The first book came out from Pune or Mumbai maybe, 1890. So you can imagine what was the condition that time. There was censorship. Even the wedding card had to be got censored before publishing it, before printing it. So even the theatre, leaflet propaganda, it had to be censored. So leave aside that part, but the literature started happening after 1961. But unfortunately, we got entangled in this language controversy, dialect controversy, and so many things. But in spite of that, the situation improved after Konkani got the official language status, statehood, and also got included in the 8th Bill of the Constitution. Now, Konkani has to compete with the rest of the mainstream languages, at least 22 mainstream languages of India. So every writer knows where he stands. And I just forgot to mention you, if I don't mind, I'll just mention about other things. Why Konkani literature was not happening, yet the writers could immediately raise their standard to that. I'm talking about Dr. Moderator, Sadhya Ravi Pandit or Bardroy Barretto, who has become household name in Marathi literary world. But he was a Konkani and he wrote in Konkani. So this was the condition at that time. Because this could happen because the Goan readers had access to the best of literature in the world, not only Marathi. You will find a Marathi reader reading the best of Marathi literature or translated into Marathi. So similarly, the best of readers in Goa could read in Marathi or Hindi the best of literature happening in Telugu or Hindi or any Bengali mainly. Because I'm telling you, so those who had access to Portuguese literature, like leave aside, I'm not talking about the Catholics only. Lakshmandar Sarvasai, Manohar Sarvasai, Bardroy Barretto, B.B. Borkar, all these had their education in Portuguese. And one thing good about the Portuguese language, whatever is translated, they didn't have original literature of up to the mark. They were aware of it. So what they did is got the best of literature in Europe translated into Portuguese. And the same literature would come to Goa. As usually, I give an example of Stefan's wife, who was translated into Portuguese first even before it was published in its own language, Swedish or German, whatever it is. But then this literature reached Goa. So these Konkani writers, we started the movement, literary movement, like Shreya Gaimbab, like Lakshmi Rao Sadesai, B.B. Borkar. They knew the best of, they were acquainted with best of Portuguese literature. So when they started writing their own literature in their own language, they knew where their bar is. So they wanted to raise the bar. And this is why literature has excelled. But on publishing side, very few publishers. Very few publishers. Even today, we have, say, 5 to 6 publishers who are ready to invest on publishing. Now, fortunately, I have always said with publishers, we never look at the payment, how much you get. You know, sometimes, just giving my example, during the COVID, hardly any books could be published. There were any readers who were takers, and the industry had almost come to a standstill. Yet, two of my books were published, and the publisher sent me a check. It is still lying in my drawer, because I know the condition of publishing scenario. I think, we are also realizing the fallacy of it. For example, in Malayalam, people have given up Malayalam script and they write in now Devanagari only. Yeah, and also publishing in Devanagari. In Karnataka, there has been practice, so old practice, that they cannot give up overnight. So what they started with is publishing a book, one page, on one side it is in Kannada script, the other side in Devanagari script. Similarly, in Roman script, we continue. But as unfortunate parties, sometimes we relate our script to religion. That should not happen. It is happening in some cases. I just wanted to ask the audience, would you put up your hands if you can read Telugu, please? Now, would you put your hands down, thank you. Put up your hands if you buy Telugu books regularly. That's about 20%. So, when you ask whether there is publishing in a regional language, there will be publishing in a regional language as long as there are buyers in the regional language. If you can read Telugu and you are not buying books in Telugu, shame on you. You are killing your language. It's not a script barrier. It's nothing to do with script. Even think that these children of today are a little shit. Okay, that's a simple thing. They are also extremely class conscious, but this they have inherited from their city class conscious parents. So if you are class conscious and you want your child to be vastly Anglophone and you want them to have a chance to get into Oxford, then the script is difficult. All these hundreds of years Telugu was, everybody could read Telugu. Now children can't read Telugu. What happened to their brain? Nonsense. The script is perfectly okay. It is just an unwillingness because it is not cool to be reading in your mother tongue. And you want to be reading in English. And this must be attacked at the root. It's unfortunate that we attribute this to globalization, other phenomenon. It is not so. There is, of course, corporate agenda behind it. we should be aware of it. But we can easily overlook it and take our own decisions. And it's up to the readers to decide what they should read. And quality-wise, I would maybe it will be a bold statement, but there are many Indian regional languages which produce excellent literature. It is unfortunate on our part that it is not duly translated and taken to other languages. And now today, the utmost need is to read Indian literature in Indian language. So it is translation is an activity where India is introduced to India. That is very, very important.
Thank you. I just want to add a couple of questions about the Konkani language. I am from Mangalore. So there are two communities where we speak Konkani, GST and Catholic. Of course, I unfortunately can't speak. I speak Dari and Sulu, but I didn't have Konkani language. So my question was, and Jerry, when I read one of your novels, I got to know there are quote-unquote Brahmins among Roman Catholics. So then I got to know when I googled that they were the converts, right? So have they had any impact on the Konkani language, or is that how Konkani became a language of Catholics? Second was what I think one of you said about equating script to religion. Could you explain that a bit more in the context of Konkani?
See, I think the Brahmins of Roman Catholicism are a comprador class, a snot-nosed tribe that unfortunately constitutes large percentages of my family. But the newer generation seems to have much less awareness of that. It used to be the thing that, the Examiner, which was kind of, it was like a local newspaper for the community, the Roman Catholic community, would actually have, Brahmin wives taught for Roman Catholics. And you're thinking, are you completely out of your bloody mind? Is this any self-respecting Christian should throw stones on you and break your head for going out to look for caste, for women of caste? Ridiculous nonsense. But it is ridiculous nonsense. When have we ever got rid of ridiculous nonsense? The equation between, say, Urdu and Islam is equally ridiculous now, right? But Bhai will talk about it. I don't want to go into details as such, but in Goa, Roman script is, Konkani is written in Roman script by the Catholics, mainly the Catholics. And the reason is, most of their scriptures or most of their say Bible and other readings in the church are already existing in Roman script. I don't know why there is reluctance on the part of their higher-ups and the bishop's house. Why not change into Devanagari? There is no occasion as such outside, but certainly nobody wants to change it. So I think this is sticking to old traditions. They want to skip the Catholic children go to school. Their Konkani is taught in Devanagari script. But then somehow they don't want to give up Roman script because they think it is their identity, language identity. It is not true, we understand. But this also will continue in a passing phase now. Only thing I am afraid is over the years, instead of keep going, the language also can vanish. It should not happen. And among Catholics in Karnataka, the first exodus that happened from Goa was of Hindus out of fear of conversion. And there was, within 100 years, another exodus happened because of the fear of Inquisition. You are aware of Inquisition, what happened? And Inquisition was aimed at the newly converted Christians. These people carried with them the Portuguese terms and the different dialects along with them. So there is a slight difference between the dialects spoken by the Catholics in Mangalore and the one spoken by Hindus in Mangalore. The more influence of Kannada on the Hindu dialect, Hindu version, and there is and being in Goa, which we can easily connect with the Catholics. The Hindus of Goa and the Catholics of Goa, they have almost similar tongue. That is very funny side of it. And wonderful.
Thank you. Really, I can understand when you say how deeply caste is entrenched. Having once been married to a Reddy Catholic, I know that the Reddy Catholics will only marry Reddy Catholics. They will not marry anybody else. So, my real question is this, that I understand that the really good and famous writers spend a lot of time translating between languages, particularly the Romance languages, because it trains their brain to think in different forms and therefore express themselves back into their original language much better. My question is, supposing I was a Telugu writer and I spent my time translating Kannada into Telugu, does that apply to me? Would I become a better Telugu writer because I'm translating Kannada back into Telugu?
I think, there is writing in some ways is a very intense association with language, but translating is doubly intense. Okay, because it makes you aware of the limitations of two languages, and it makes you even more humiliatingly aware of your limitations with the language. So as you're fighting these two, or not fighting, I wouldn't say fighting, but you're negotiating with language, because language is always going to be larger and more volatile than you are. You're inevitably going to find yourself change. Now, better or worse, I don't know, but change is always better than stagnation. So I think in that sense, you can assure yourself that translation is certainly going to help. I even do subtitling, because I like the idea of subtitling Hindi, because then an additional constraint is put, which is readability and time. Because you've got to fit that line into the time frame of the thing. So in that sense, when I go into a subtitling studio, I'm literally ready for kushti with language. Let's go on, bring it on. Let's see what you got. Okay?
Why do people still practice the caste system?
It's a very good question. I wish we knew the answer. If we knew the answer, maybe we would deal with it. But one of the things that we like to establish is who is like us and who is not like us. In class, in your class, in school, you probably have a group of girls or young people who you want to talk to and people who you don't want to talk to. It's quite natural. Now, when this codifies, when this becomes very hard and solid, you get a system which is called the caste system. Because otherwise, there is nothing in Dalit blood, or in Brahmin muscle, or in Kshatriya hair, or in Vaishya chemicals that is different. They are all the same. Yeah? We invent this and then hold on to it. And this you will not notice it until the time of your marriage comes. And then suddenly your party is going to say to you, Baba, it's not about caste, it is about culture. Because we have a different culture, so we don't want you to marry into a different culture. Caste is a bahurupya. It changes its shape and it slithers into you. You have to fight it. I'm very happy with the last question that you asked. I know it is not related to the language issue, but I'm very happy that young people like you are thinking in this sense and expressing your range of issues. And this will continue. And try to spread this word or more. Discuss with your colleagues. And then probably you are the solution. You are the answer to our future generation.
I'm a Kochi Konkani who has tried reading Konkani from Goa. I find that my Konkani is not understood in Goa and Goan Konkanis can't understand my Konkani. Can we ever be reconciled? If yes, how? If no, why? Two going for right. Kochi chicken, Ernakulam Devlalagi.
Oh, lovely. Yes, the geographical distance is such that, there is a saying in English, out of sight, out of mind. That happens. So you can imagine 450 or maybe more than that years back, your ancestors had gone away from Goa with Konkani at heart. It is admirable that they have retained the language. Even when they wrote in the Malayalam script, they retained the language, which really has off to them. Yes, because of their, as they were negotiating with the Malayalam language, so many Malayalam terms have entered, and even the grammatical structure has entered into Konkani. But there are attempts, they have, are you from Kochi? Okay, have you ever visited Kerala Konkani Academy? Yeah, so you will know how much effort they are putting in to match the language and to rather, I don't like the word standardization, but to get into the mainstream language, or rather go into the mainstream language. The Konkani speakers in Goa are very much open. I'm talking about on behalf of myself. They are very much open to the terms and the new idioms that are coming from Karnataka and Kerala. So that will only enrich the language. There should be only some open mind and to accept and acknowledge.
Yeah, sorry if I missed out at this point during the discussion. Is Portuguese taught in the schools in Goa? Is it one of the languages?
It's an optional language that you can take, like, say, in the 8th standard, and you can take it for 2.5 years. It will equip you to say that the pen of my uncle is in the garden of my aunt. Yeah, that's about, but mostly language teaching in this country really amounts to that. We teach language in this country, 80% of the place of the school system is about an agenda-based functional language which is supposed to help you with social climbing. There is very little connection to the actual gravitas, to the soul and the spirit of the language. That is almost trampled in classes. You take a poem, read it out to the children, and immediately break it down into what does. I remember reading an ICSE paper on Shakespeare. Brutus describes Caesar with 4 adjectives. Name the adjectives and give one example of each. And I thought, die if this is how you teach language.
Unfortunately, it's a good language.
You guys have alluded to this before, but I wanted to ask, how ossified and petrified, and what is the fluidity between the demarcation and delineation in languages and dialects vis-a-vis class?
I have the feeling that this dialect, Napoleon put it best. He said a language is a dialect if it doesn't have an army. A dialect is linked to lower class. So when Bhai talks about Pune, what he was talking about is Punekari Brahms, Konkani, Punekari Marathi is actually Saraswat Brahmin Marathi. It is not Punekari. It's not a geographical location. It is a caste location. That caste then becomes
becomes because the caste is again it's a Bahurupya. The caste flips out and says this is Punekari Marathi. It is not Punekari. It is Brahmins controlling the court. It's an old story. So all dialect is from there, and the Brahmin may sometimes pick up a little dialect and toss it in the air and sprinkle it like a garnish over his writing, not bias. but in general, I'm saying we use dialect, but language is supposed to be slightly more, a slightly more sophisticated understanding of communication. Just one sentence I'm going to add. Dialect enrich the language. So if we have a look at the dialect as instrumental to the growth of main language, then it's fine. And this is a continuous process. It's on. I'm happy for that. And thank you all for making us Konkanis welcome here and giving this emphasis to Konkani and this year's this thing. We are all on behalf of Goa, on behalf of Kannada, on behalf of Karnataka and Kerala, where Konkani is speaking. We thank you.